TIFU by accidentally revealing my neighbor's secret that led to his divorce and a family breakdown. My daughter had her elementary school's spring concert last week. These things are always a chaotic mess of parents craning their necks, kids missing cues, and off-key singing. I was there, trying to record my daughter's performance while simultaneously keeping my younger son from running onto the stage. It was going about as well as you'd expect. I managed to get a few shaky videos of my daughter singing. My phone's storage almost ran out. I deleted some old photos to make room for more concert footage. My daughter loves watching the videos of herself later. I know she will want to see these ones too. My son, on the other hand, was not impressed by the concert. He wanted to be part of the action. Keeping him still felt like wrestling an alligator. I considered just taking him outside for a few minutes. I worried I would miss my daughter's big solo if I did that. I decided to stay put and tough it out. I bounced my son on my knee and sang along to the songs. This seemed to help a little. He quieted down and watched the other kids. He even clapped a few times. I felt a small victory. The concert went on for what felt like forever. Each class got up to perform their songs. Some of the songs were cute. Some were painful to listen to. My daughter's class did a medley of Disney songs. She sang the part of Ariel in Under the Sea. The concert was loud. Kids yelled, music blared, and parents talked over each other. I tried to focus on my daughter, but it was hard. My son wiggled and made grabby hands toward the stage. He wanted to join the other kids. I held him tight and whispered that he had to wait his turn. He did not like this. He started to fuss, and I felt people staring at us. I gave him a small toy car to play with, hoping it would distract him. It worked for a few minutes. The concert was loud. Kids yelled, music blared, and parents talked over each other. I tried to focus on my daughter, but it was hard. My son wiggled and made grabby hands toward the stage. He wanted to join the other kids. I held him tight and whispered that he had to wait his turn. He did not like this. He started to fuss, and I felt people staring at us. I gave him a small toy car to play with, hoping it would distract him. It worked for a few minutes. I scanned the crowd and noticed some people I knew. I saw co-workers, other parents from school, and people from the neighborhood. I waved to a few, but I mostly wanted to watch my daughter. Then, I saw my neighbor. He was with his family. They seemed to be enjoying the show. I smiled and thought about saying hello after the concert. My son dropped the toy car, and I had to pick it up. When I looked up again, the concert was about to end. Our neighbor, his wife, and their two kids were sitting a few rows in front of us. We know them fairly well, our kids play together, and we often chat when we're both doing yard work. I consider him a casual friend. His wife is nice too, though I do not know her as well. After the concert, as everyone was filing out, my neighbor came over to me. He looked stressed and a little pale. He said he wanted to talk to me about something, but not there. He suggested we grab a beer at the local bar sometime this week. I agreed. I assumed it was something work-related. He works in finance, and I know things have been turbulent in that industry. I tried to figure out what he might want to discuss. I replayed possible scenarios in my head all week. It seemed unlikely that he was going to quit his job, but maybe he was offered a different position at another company. I thought about other potential explanations too. Maybe he needed to borrow money or wanted to get my opinion about an investment he was considering. I simply could not guess what he wanted. I hoped he would give me some kind of hint before our meeting, but he did not. He sent me a text message on Tuesday to confirm our plans. I replied, confirming I would meet him at the bar at 7 o'clock. I showed up a few minutes early. I got a table and waited for him. I checked my phone and scrolled through social media. He arrived right on time. He looked more stressed than he had at the concert. He sat down and sighed. He asked how I was doing and I told him I was fine. I asked him how things were going at work, and he said that was part of what he needed to talk about. I waited for him to continue. We met at the bar on Wednesday evening. I ordered a beer, and he ordered a double whiskey. That's when I knew this wasn't just about quarterly reports. He started by asking if I remembered a conversation we had a few months ago when we were both outside mowing our lawns. I vaguely recalled it. We talked about all sorts of things, as we often do: lawn care, local politics, the rising cost of groceries. Then he reminded me about something specific. I mentioned that my wife had recently joined a genealogy website and was researching our family history. I have always been interested in that kind of stuff. He apparently showed more interest than I realized at the time. He had asked me which website she was using and whether it was any good. I told him the name of the site, and that she seemed to enjoy it. I remember the conversation well now. I should have seen the signs. I told him that she traced her family back to the 1600s in Europe. She found all sorts of interesting facts about where we came from. She showed me old documents and census records. I thought it was cool, but I didn't see the point of spending so much time on it. Now I think he saw an opportunity to find out more about himself without directly asking me. I have always been pretty open about my family, so he knew a lot already. I bet he wanted something concrete that he could use to verify what he thought he knew. He then explained that he started digging into his mother's side of the family first. He said he didn't know much about them because she died when he was young. His father never talked about her. He discovered that his mother's family had lived in the same area as my wife's family for generations. He found several records that connected the two families through marriage and land ownership. That is when he discovered that his mother and my wife were distant cousins. He said that meant that he and my children were related. He paused then, waiting for my reaction. I understood why he was telling me all of this. He took a long swig of his whiskey and confessed that he'd signed up for the same genealogy website shortly after our conversation. He said he had always been curious about his family history, but never had the time to delve into it properly. I just nodded, waiting for him to get to the point. I still did not know why this was such a big deal. Then he dropped the bomb. He said that while researching his family tree, he discovered that his wife was not who she claimed to be. She had told him she was an only child, raised by her aunt after her parents died in a car accident when she was young. It was a sad story, one he had always believed. But the genealogy website revealed something entirely different. The website showed a completely different history. It displayed census records, birth certificates, and marriage licenses. These documents showed her real name and her actual family. I think he said he paid for a premium membership to access all of that. He also found obituaries for the aunt she claimed raised her. The dates of those obituaries were recent, meaning the aunt could not have raised her from childhood. All of it painted a clear picture of a constructed identity. He then had to decide what to do with this information. He considered hiring a private investigator to dig deeper, but ultimately decided against it. He figured he deserved an explanation from her directly. He printed out the documents he found. He waited for her to come home from work that day. I can only imagine how awful that wait must have felt. He sat at the kitchen table with all the evidence spread out before him. When she walked in, he asked her to sit down, and then he showed her what he had found. She had a living mother and father, and she had a brother and sister. They all lived in another state, and they all had active social media profiles. It seemed she had completely fabricated her past. He had confronted her about it, and she had admitted everything. She said she did it because she wanted a fresh start, free from the constraints of her family and her upbringing. She claimed her family was dysfunctional and toxic, and she wanted nothing to do with them. He was devastated. He said he did not even know who his wife was anymore. Everything he thought he knew about her was a lie. He could not understand why she would do this. He felt betrayed and hurt. I tried to offer some words of comfort, but I honestly did not know what to say. It was a shocking story, and I felt terrible for him. I told him that I was so sorry. I told him I would always be there if he needed me. I visited him the next day. I brought over some food and we just sat and talked. I mostly listened. He talked about how they met and how happy he thought he was. He went on about all the things he was now questioning. He wondered if she ever even loved him. I could see the pain in his eyes. I stayed with him for a few hours. I did not want him to be alone. He seemed to appreciate me being there. I told him to call me anytime, day or night. I meant it. Thursday was similar. He called me in the morning. He asked if I could come over again. I went to his house after work. We ordered pizza and watched a game. He was still very upset, but he seemed a little better than the day before. He actually laughed a couple of times. It was a small improvement, but it was something. I hoped things would slowly get better for him. I knew it would take time. That was Wednesday. On Friday, I got a text from him saying that his wife had moved out. He said he could not forgive her. He felt like their entire marriage was based on a lie, and he could not move past it. He told me he was talking to a lawyer about a divorce. I felt awful. I felt responsible, even though I knew I had not done anything intentionally wrong. If I had not mentioned the genealogy website, he would never have discovered his wife's secret, and their family would still be together. I know it was not my fault, but I cannot help feeling like I played a part in their breakup. I tried to talk to him, but he did not answer my calls. I sent him a text message apologizing and explaining that I never meant for any of this to happen. He texted back a simple, okay. That was it. I did not know what to say after that, so I did not say anything. I have not heard from him since. I do not know if he blames me or if he is just dealing with the situation in his own way. I hope he does not hate me. I wish I could take it back. I wish I had never said anything about the website. I wish I could undo the pain and disruption this has caused. But I cannot. All I can do is learn from this experience and try to be more careful about what I say in the future. I will never bring up genealogy again to anyone. I will definitely never talk about it with anyone's husband. This whole situation is a mess, and I just want it to be over. My wife thinks I am being ridiculous and that he would have found out eventually. She says his wife was the one in the wrong, not me. I understand her point, but I still feel guilty. I keep thinking about their kids. They are going to have to deal with their parents' divorce, and it is all because of a stupid conversation about genealogy. I have not spoken to him since Friday. I am afraid to call him. I do not know what to say. I want to be there for him, but I also do not want to make things worse. I feel like I am walking on eggshells. I think about him constantly. I go over and over our last conversation in my head. I wonder if he is doing okay. I worry that he is not taking care of himself. He is a good person, and he does not deserve this. I wish I could fix things for him. I do not know how. I feel helpless. I hate this situation. I feel guilty. I feel guilty that I am not suffering as much as he is. I feel guilty that I can go home to my own life and he cannot. I know that is not a rational thought, but I cannot help it. I also feel angry. I am angry that he put me in this position. I am angry that he is hurting. I am angry at his wife. I am just angry. I wish everyone could move on. The worst part is that I see his wife occasionally when I am picking my daughter up from school. She looks sad and lost. I avoid eye contact. I do not want to talk to her. I do not know what I would say. I feel like I am caught in the middle of their mess, and I just want it to be over. I keep replaying the conversation in my head, wondering if I could have said something different. Maybe I should have kept my mouth shut about the genealogy website. Maybe I should have realized that he was too interested in it. Maybe I could have prevented all of this. I feel guilty that I introduced him to the website in the first place. It seemed like a harmless hobby at the time. We were both interested in our family histories, and I thought it would be fun to compare notes. I should have known better than to share something like that. He always takes things too far, goes way too deep. Now his whole life is falling apart, and I cannot help but feel responsible, even though I know it is not really my fault. He made his own choices. He acted on his own accord. Still, the thought lingers. I talked with him on the phone last night, and he sounded terrible. He is moving out of the house. His wife is furious. She is not speaking to him. He says the kids are confused and upset. I do not know what to say to him. I just listened. I offered to help him move. I told him I would be there for him if he needed anything. I am not sure what else I can do. I hope he finds some peace. But I cannot change the past. All I can do is try to be a good friend and support him through this difficult time. I just hope that their kids will be okay. Divorce is hard enough on adults, but it is even harder on children. I am not sure what the moral of the story is. Maybe it is to be careful about what you say to your neighbors. Maybe it is to mind your own business. Or maybe it is just a reminder that sometimes, the truth is not always what it seems. I spent a long time thinking about the situation. I went over all the details in my head again and again. I wondered if I had missed something important. I considered whether I could have acted differently. I still do not know the answer. It is a complicated situation without easy answers. All I know is that people got hurt. The worst part is that I never intended for this to happen. I simply repeated something I had heard. I did not realize the impact my words would have. I wish I could take it back. I want to repair the damage I caused. I am not sure how to do that. I just hope time will heal the wounds. I feel terrible. I hate that I inadvertently caused so much pain. I hope that someday, they will be able to forgive me. I really do. I still think about the situation often. I still feel like a bad person even though I didn't mean to cause any problems. I don't know if our neighbor will ever see me the same way again, and that hurts too. I'm not sure how to fix this. I wish I could turn back time.